It began on a quiet Thursday night in November when Detective Erin Mallory had just finished her paperwork and the call came in, a missing person report. Nothing unusual, a 27-year-old woman named Claire Donovan, last seen leaving her job at a design firm in downtown Seattle. Her phone had gone straight to voicemail, but when her mother checked the messages, there were 3 new ones, all recorded within hours of her disappearance. The first voicemail was static-filled but calm, Claire's voice whispering like she didn't want to be heard. "Mom, I think someone's following me. I'll call when I get home." Then silence. The timestamp read 8:47 p.m., 5 minutes before she left the office parking lot. Police traced her route, a 10-minute drive through an industrial area, caught on 2 traffic cameras before her car disappeared. Her phone last pinged off a cell tower near the Bayview docks, a place known for old warehouses and little light after dark. Detective Mallory and her partner, Tom Reeves, searched the area at dawn. They found Claire's car abandoned near the waterline, driver's door open, purse inside, keys in the ignition. No sign of struggle. But on the passenger seat, a single item chilled Mallory's blood, Claire's phone. It had one new voicemail, recorded at 9:02 p.m., 20 minutes after she vanished. The message began with heavy breathing. Then a whisper. "He's here." He, static, swallowed the rest. By the next morning, the case had already drawn attention. A young professional woman missing from a well-lit city street, no witnesses, no security footage. The media dubbed it the vanishing of Claire Donovan. Detectives combed through her phone records. No unusual numbers, no threats. But there was one recurring detail, a block number that had called her 12 times in the week before she disappeared. When tech analysts tried to trace it, they found the calls routed through burner apps, wiped clean within minutes. Then came the third voicemail. 3 days after she vanished, Claire's mother received a notification. A new voicemail, sent from Claire's number. But the SIM card had been removed from her phone hours earlier. The message lasted 12 seconds. "Don't look for me. He won't stop." The voice was faint, strained, like someone forcing the words through a trembling breath. The background sounded mechanical, rhythmic thuds, water dripping, maybe a motor running. Audio engineers enhanced the file and isolated the sound. It matched a ferry engine, one that crossed from Bayview to the small town of Oak Ridge Island, population barely 900. Detective Mallory felt a shiver. If Claire's voice came from that island, someone had kept her alive long enough to make the call. Mallory and Reeves took the first morning ferry. Oak Ridge Island looked frozen in time, decaying docks, fog-drenched houses, and residents who didn't like questions. The sheriff there, Harold Pike, seemed uneasy. "We don't get missing people here," he said, eyes darting away. At the edge of town stood an old communications tower, long decommissioned. Beneath it, they found a shed filled with old radio equipment, wires coiled like veins. One of the devices, though dusty, still had a power light glowing faintly. Reeves plugged in a portable recorder. The machine hissed to life. A woman's voice echoed out, faint, broken. "Please, stop recording. He's still listening." Mallory's skin crawled. The timestamp was 3 hours old. Locals mentioned a man named Eli Moran, a reclusive fisherman who lived near Merrill Road, the farthest stretch of the island. He was known for salvaging old radios and working odd hours on his boat. When detectives reached his property, they found a shack littered with cassette tapes and electronics. In a corner sat a voicemail recorder linked to several phones, the same model Claire once used. Then Mallory froze. On the desk was a photograph, Claire, smiling on a pier. Eli claimed he found the phone washed ashore, but his story cracked fast. He'd been recording random radio frequencies, claiming voices came through the static. Among his tapes, detectives found dozens of voicemails from various missing persons, voices that shouldn't have existed. Some were years old. But one stood out, Claire's final message, never heard before. "Tell Mom I'm sorry. I shouldn't have answered him." The recording ended with the faint sound of waves, and another voice whispering behind her, "Stay quiet, Claire." Eli Moran was taken in, but no trace of Claire was found. The FBI swept the area, recovering fragments of phones and SIM cards buried near the docks. Analysis showed that someone had used signal simulators to spoof phone activity, sending messages from numbers belonging to the missing. The technology was advanced, not the work of a fisherman. Someone had been orchestrating these calls deliberately, keeping cases alive long after victims were gone. When detectives searched Eli's boat, they found a locked chest. Inside were photographs, women, dates, and audio chips labeled with initials. Claire's was the last one added. Weeks turned into months. Moran maintained his innocence, insisting he only heard the messages. The case went cold, suspended under lack of evidence. Then, 6 months later, Detective Mallory's phone buzzed. A voicemail from a blocked number. She played it. "Detective Mallory? You never found me." The voice was unmistakable with Claire's. Mallory froze. The timestamp showed it was recorded that morning. The metadata traced to a tower long since dismantled, the same one on Oak Ridge Island. Mallory returned to Oak Ridge, alone this time. The island was silent, its fog thicker than before. She followed the signal coordinates into the woods, toward an abandoned boathouse. Inside, she found a wall covered in photographs of missing people, maps, notes, voicemails transcribed on paper. In the center, written in red marker, were the words, "The voice remains even when the body doesn't." From a small desk radio, static hummed, then a familiar tone. "Detective Mallory? Claire? You shouldn't have come." The signal cut. Forensics later found nothing, no footprints, no new devices, no trace of Claire. But the recordings continued to appear, voicemails from numbers belonging to other cold cases. Mallory began receiving one every month. Each time, the same phrase whispered at the end, "He's still here." Eventually, the FBI declared the case unsolved. Files were boxed, archived, forgotten. But Detective Mallory never changed her number. Because sometimes, late at night, her phone still lights up with a missed call from Claire Donovan.